Hello, friends. I am Angela Newberry. I am a certified life coach. I work with teens to help them improve their self confidence and find their power within themselves. I am coming to you today with the next video. Last time, when we got to the end of the video, I asked you a couple of questions. I asked you, how do you wish you would have reacted to the person sticking the kick me sign on your back? And also, how do you think others would have reacted to the same situation? So if there were 10 of us that all got the same kick me sign stuck on our backs, would we have all reacted the same? So in case you missed that first video, you might want to go back. You can go to angelanewberry.com and click on the blog/podcast button, and it should be the very first video right there for you. Watch that one first so you know what I'm talking about. And today we're going to talk about if we would have all reacted the same. And here's a clue. The answer is no. I want to teach you why, though, that all of us would have had a different reaction. And the reason is the actual kick me sign that is on our back does not make us feel any way. If I feel bad about the sign, it's because I had a thought about that sign. Maybe it was your thought that you had about the sign. Maybe you thought, they are so mean to me. Or maybe you thought, he is such a jerk. That could have been your thought. But if they had put it on the quarterback's back, or the cheerleaders, or the valedictorians, or the actors, they all would have had different reactions because they would have all had different thoughts about getting that sign put on their back. Maybe one of them would have thought, yeah, try and kick me and see what happens. Or, y'all are nerds. Or, the possibility of you actually kicking me is less than 5%. Or, et tu, Brute? It could have been any of those. If it had been me, my thought would have been, mature much? Now, I'm not saying that any of these reactions or thoughts about it would have been the right thing to think. There's really no right answer. It's just the thoughts in our brain about the circumstance that happened. That sign on our back, we had a thought about it. And because we had a thought about it, it caused our feelings. Now, that feeling from your thought could have been sad, it could have been angry, it could have been annoyed, whatever the feeling was. But that feeling comes from the thought about the sign, not the actual sign on our back. Our emotional reaction from it comes from our thoughts about it. Same thing with what a bully says to us. We have a thought about what they say, and that's what causes our emotions about it. Now, let's just imagine going to lunch with 10 people. 10 people, maybe you know some of them, maybe you don't. And you tell them all the exact same story at the exact same time. So every single one of them has heard this one story from you, and they've seen the same thing. They all saw you wearing the same outfit. Everything is the same. But all 10 of those people are going to have different opinions about your story. Some are going to love your story. Some are going to hate it. Some really kind of weren't listening at all and don't care about it. And all of those reactions have nothing to do with your story really at all. It has to do with their thoughts about your story. And those thoughts about your story is what creates their emotional reaction. Now, I can hear you arguing with me already that if the bad guy hadn't put the sign on your back in the first place, then you wouldn't have felt sad. Now, that's probably true because you never would have had the thought of, they're so mean to me, to create that feeling of sadness. You are still creating your own pain. That is so important for you to understand. Because remember, my thought would have been mature much, and I would have been annoyed. And so I would have to deal with being annoyed. You were having to deal with being sad. It's the exact same situation, but we are creating our own feelings about it. You may have heard some people say, boys will be boys. You may have heard some people say that that's ridiculous. It's the exact same thing that's happening, but these people are thinking no big deal about it, and these people are thinking this is bad and it shouldn't be happening. It's based on their thoughts about whatever it is that's happening. Now I can hear you saying, okay, Angela, I get it, but how does any of this help me stop the bullying? Well, I want you to think about this. This is going to tell you how. Get ready. If you've ever watched a movie where someone's being bullied, they have to change the way they think about the bullying for them to be able to stop it from happening anymore. That doesn't sound right. So what I'm imagining in my head is Karate Kid, and all the movies are different. Like in Karate Kid, he learned karate and had to fight, and I've seen other movies that I can't think of the name of right off the top of my head. They were able to change the situation other ways, not just by fighting, but other ways that the bullies just left them alone and went on about their business onto other people. But in all of those movies and in real life, the one thing that changed is how they thought about the bully. So our hero in the story, is you've got to change how you think about it, because right now when you think about that bully, you're thinking about them as they are hurting me. They over there are making me feel bad. And I need you to turn that around. I need you to change that. That is your very first step in helping you to solve this problem. I want you to change your thoughts about those people that are bothering you. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to come up with, oh, I love them so much, they are my favorite people. No, because I wouldn't believe that. You wouldn't believe that. That it has to be something you're going to believe. It has to be something that's possible. Like, it's really sad they think they need to be mean to me. I wonder if they're jealous of me. I wonder what made them so mean. I wonder who treats them like this, or whatever feels better to you. It's not necessarily going to it's not going to be something that makes you feel a thought that makes you feel good, but it's going to make you feel better, because right now what you're feeling is that all of that sadness or anger or whatever it is that you have inside of you, you're thinking that their actions are making you feel that way. And they're not. It's your thoughts about their actions that are making you feel that way. You've got to change it. That is the absolute first step. And it's a huge one. If you can change how you're thinking about those bullies, or those mean people, whoever it is, that's the first step to making it stop. In the next video, we're going to talk a little more about what they actually say and how it really doesn't matter at all. If you feel like you're ready right now to get your very own coach, me, to help you through this, message me. I'll get with you and your parent and we'll talk about whether or not we would be a good fit to work with each other. Sorry, there's a bunch of planes flying overhead, some old planes. It's kind of cool. And I'm staring out the window at them. So change the thought, change how you're thinking about them, and then message me. And I'll see you in the next video.